Hey, it's your boy Yuli from Valor Defense Depot, Southwest Oklahoma's premier gun shop. Located at, it doesn't matter, you already know where we're located at. Come down and see us. All right, so today, got a little project, a little personal build. I'll let you know what this is. This is my favorite lower on the market right now. PWS, comes ambi. There's some proprietary stuff going on here. But when you buy it, you get everything except obviously the trigger and safety detent pins. But you do get an extended bolt catch. It's on both sides. Mag release on both sides. So I'm pretty stoked about these lowers. This is like my third one. All right. So today, what I have here is going to be putting in a trigger into this gun. There was a trigger already in here. Took that out in the interest of time. Already popped the pins and pulled that out. Was able to do that without removing the safety. But I don't think I'm going to be able to install the new trigger without removing the safety. But the new trigger is one of my favorites. Geissele SSAE X with the lightning bow. So this is the same trigger that comes standard in the Super Duty rifles, Super Duty line of rifles, which everybody knows and loves. So first we're going to do, I'm going to have to pop this grip. I can get under here, the old Magpul MOE. This one is a K2 screwdriver. Go. Got a bigger one. One day I'll learn how to get all the stuff ready before hitting record, but you know, today's not that day. Several threads working in here. There we go. So just want to be careful to not lose this spring right here. The detent or the safety detent spring. It's tiny. All right. So once I get that out, just going to turn this over to get the detent out. All right. Now my safety will spin freely here. So just because I don't like to do much more work than must be, I'm going to try to install this now with it. Some triggers will go, some won't. So try this one right quick. And what I'm trying to do here is get that bar underneath the safety. And not going to happen. Fine, not a big deal. No problem there. Just pull that out and go ahead and remove the safety. Now, the radius safety got a little extra step because the safety levers have a detent and a little pin in here, right, which gives it that really like kind of tactile feel whenever you engage it. So not a problem. Just gonna find the tiniest of Allen wrenches or pins, stick in there. There is one somewhere here that will fit. Nope. Sir. All right. When in doubt, grab the other office supplies. So just gonna push that down, start to pull on that lever a little bit. There we go. All right, now I got it halfway off. This is important. You need to cover that because there is a spring, there's some tension there. You heard that little click, and we want to make sure we don't lose that. So I'll go ahead and pull that out just so I can keep it nice and safe. Then I'm gonna remove my safety barrel. All right, so now that that's out, now I can go ahead and pop this trigger in. So this disconnector's captured. Geissele, in their infinite wisdom, provides a slave pin for this process. So while this is out, I'm just going to go ahead and put the slave pin in here. Alright, so now all of that is captured.
Now what's the purpose of the slave pin?
The slave pin just allows me to push a pin, to line up that hole and push a pin straight through and keep everything in line as I do it. Alright, so I'm not trying to look on one side and finagle and get everything lined up while pushing on the other side. It just makes it for an easier process. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and set the trigger in there. Alright. Line it up with the hole, and now you can see that slave pin is right there. So all I'm going to do, once I get that lined up, is take this trigger pin right here, give it a little push, and there. Now we're all the way through. Slave pin fell out, and my trigger pin is installed. All right. I'm going to take my hammer spring, which already has, it comes with the spring installed. I'm sorry, I'm going to take my hammer, which comes with the hammer spring installed already. So I know the flat side is the side that strikes the firing pin, so that's going to go this way. This is the side that connects to the disconnector. All right, and so then it's just a matter of setting this spring up to where I have some tension. All right, so I run that back here like so, and then I'm going to rest these legs of the spring on the trigger pin, all right, inside of the receiver. All right. Oh, before I do that, I need to remove this pin. You may find that this pin is just a little bit tougher to get out because of that J hook that's in there that you just got to push past. Not a deal, just takes a little force. And I've come from the school of thought where hammers always win, so let's get a little extra pressure on there. Come out.
Thank God for editing. Do you want to put the vice and crack on it? Fuck yeah. I don't know why this is being that difficult.
There we go. Wasn't supposed to take all that. Oh, hell. Alrighty. So I'm going to set this hammer up again, just with that slave pin right through there, just to make it easier for me. I'm going to rest the legs of the spring on the trigger pin. Now this one's going to be, it's under a little more spring tension. It's going to be a little bit harder to do, a little bit more of a pain in the butt, kind of hold everything in place. Yeah, I could use a vise, but you know. Alright, so now I got that started in there. Since this is my gun, not a customer's gun, I'm going to take this big ass hammer and just press that in there. Alright. Alright, so now that pin is in, the trigger is good to go. Trigger pins are good to go. So now I'm going to reinstall my safety where that detent is. Where that detent goes. Just set that throw side. If you want the 45 throw side, then the shorter side is facing that detent. So now I got that lined up. All right, I'm going to go ahead, just so I can keep everything intact, and install this other lever now, so nothing will fall out on me while I'm getting the rest of it in there. All right, so I'm going to start this in the track. Then I'm going to press down on that little detent, carefully to spring load it, and I'm going to push that lever on at the same time. It may take you a few times to get it. That's okay. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to take that safety detent, drop that in there, and kind of wiggle it around, make sure it catches into that hole. Once it's set, I'm going to take my grip, pop my spring into there, line up my spring into where that safety detent is, because that's what's going to hold that pressure on that detent. Then I'm going to push down. Luckily, these are so tight, once I push down on there, it's just going to hold in place. All right. Now, before I like to make sure it's operational before I tighten everything down. So I'm going to hold this in place, make sure there's some spring pressure. And then I just like to run safety, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. And it looks like it, or feels like it is. All right, so weapon's on safe right now. Pull the trigger, nothing happens. Take it off safe. Not going to pull the trigger because I'm not in position to grab that hammer, but everything's going right there. So then I'm going to get my grip bolt screw, toss that in there. And I used to do it all sorts of funky ways, taping it to the screw. They got magnetic screws out there, or magnetic screwdrivers out there. I just kind of throw it in there now and then fish until I get it in the hole. So we're in the hole. I just start tightening it. Alright, give it one last little crank, and she's pretty tight there. Alright, so now I'm going to check it, make sure it works. It's on safe, no go. Change it over to fire. I'm going to cover the hammer, press the trigger, and she went. Recock it, there's the reset, press the trigger again. Oops, didn't catch her, but she went. Back on safe, trigger doesn't go. So, alright, so that's how you do it. Kind of a pain, but not really. Do a couple of them and you'll get it figured out. Come on down and see us for all of your trigger swaps and installs. If you want to upgrade your trigger from a mil-spec trigger to any one of the premiums out there. We got Geissele triggers in stock. We got LaRue MBT triggers in stock. Come on down and see us at Ballard Defense Depot, Southwest Oklahoma's premier gun shop. We'll get you hooked up.